Hello and welcome back to another game of Dota 2. You are watching StarLadder, and this is a relegation match, or at least a best of 3 of 1. We've got ourselves game 2 of the match between Duza and Sex. Now this game is going to be one in favor of Sex right now. They are on top. Yeah, the game that we're playing is maybe a deciding match to decide that Sex is going to take the place away from Duza in Star Series. If Duza win though, they'll force out a third game, and we'll see if they can still hold on to their spot, because that's what we're fighting for here. That's what they are fighting for here. That one spot in Star Series. Just to not have to play again in Pro Series next season. You want to be with the top dogs. You want to be in that Star Series, so that's why we're here. We're going to see Duza on the dire side for this one. Again, not banning out the IO, though this time also interesting to note that Duza bans out the Weaver, hero that they were up against in the previous game, and they don't want to face again, but because of that they let the Bat Rider go through. And there we have him. We've got the Visage and the Naga Siren banned out by Sex themselves, and the Bat Rider indeed the first pickup. Duza goes for a Clockwork and a Gyrocopter. Now again, Duza is a team that mostly when we first saw them playing, like their comfort zone was the Doom as a carry role and the Nature's Prophet on the offlane. And they have not gone for that in the previous game either, and they haven't banned or picked any of those. So I'm kind of curious to see what their aim is here. They're gonna go for some big team fight though, or at least they have got a pretty decent team fight, and with the Gyrocopter already and the Clockwork, of course, to mess up the team fight of the Bat Rider. And of course they have some own initiation as well. I mean, Bat Rider is very good at initiating. You just pick someone up and drag him into your allies lineup. And Clockwork can of course just hookshot himself in and either save that person or just initiate before Bat Rider can. Gyrocopter Duza, just a strong carry overall. And we're gonna see how Limbo plays that one. Well, Sex takes quite a long time to think about if they want to pick up the IO or if they're gonna let it live. And one thing that's often common with the Bat Rider, if you can pick it up, obviously in this case you still can, is a life stealer. Because they played the Weaver in the previous game, and the Weaver can be, in a way, compared to the Lifestealer, is normally played as a secondary carry.
Radiant team ban.
And then let him in, because Lifestealer was ignored in the previous game. But Lifestealer, Bat Rider, the combination with those two is, of course, that you can infest, and you can jump on someone, lasso him, infest out, and eat him up, and he'll die, most likely. Bane picked up first though, and that's gonna be support for Sex. No support yet for Duza, even though there's still quite a few in the pool. There's still some bans coming out from Sex. They banned out in the Baton and the IO in the end. 2 bans that we saw previous game as well, but Duza actually going for the Mirana ban, which is interesting. I mean, Mirana works well together with the Bane. You can of course set up for an arrow with a Nightmare, which is pretty decent. And maybe they also don't want her in combination with the Bat Rider. I mean, more arrows coming off after maybe lassos and such. And then it's the Alchemist that Duza bans out next. Duza, of course, the one to play the Alchemist in the previous game. And I don't want to have to deal with him themselves. And of course, there's also one that works well together with the Bane, because a Nightmare can be used as charge up time for the Unstable Concoction. The Nyx Assassin picked up by Duza. We've seen Unstable with this hero. Normally when they pick this one up, it's combined up with a Visage, but because he's already banned out, perhaps we're gonna see his Enchantress again. And we'll find out who he's gonna go for. Normally he does go for those more micro-heavy heroes, or at least have heroes that just overall just have a lot of impact on the game in terms of gankability. Maybe a Vengeful Spirit wouldn't be too bad here. I would actually like to see a Vengeful Spirit coming off from Duza, but again, normally it's unstable to play the Vengeful Spirit, and with the Nyx Assassin already in the pool, not too sure how they're gonna handle that. We are waiting for Sex again to pick up a hero though. They're taking their time, but then again, well, they have that time, so why not? And with the Bane Bat Rider lineup, I mean, so far, nothing is set in stone. I wonder if they want to try to go for Elder Titan again. I mean, I wouldn't call him the hero that won them the game in previous game, but it was still played decently. Of course, No Fear did cause first blood in the end. Well, it's actually Chen that they pick up, going for their own kind of jungle. They didn't have that in the previous game, obviously. But perhaps hereby one already counter Duza in a way. Or maybe force Duza to pick up another Enchantress.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Duza using their reserve time. They already used a little bit beforehand, but compared to the Radiant, they hadn't really used that much time just yet. So they're using it right now, and they can. I mean, right now they have to decide, like, what are they expecting that Bat Rider to be? Because you have to realize that the last pick is going to Sex. So Duza, they cannot really hope to get that much more information from Sex as it is in terms of their mid player, in terms of their mid hero. And they go for the puck. Heavy control.
Radiant team pick.
Shadow Fiend gets picked up straight away. And that's of course a bit of a counter towards the puck in a way. I mean, puck cannot dodge all of the harassment coming out from the Shadow Fiend. And that's why sometimes you would like, it's a question, do you want to wait with picking up your mid hero until the last picks, or you want to give it away straight away? Just in case the other team will pick up yours otherwise, and you know there's a fair possibility of that, you don't really want that. No, I have to say, Legion normally when he plays mid heroes, they're more sturdy mid heroes, not really the puck, but I'm talking about Beastmaster, Dragon Knight, stuff like that. Oh. Now, Duza was one of the teams that I loved playing, seeing play Spirit Breaker as a carry, and I'm not really expecting that here, but it would be neat if they do that again. I'm expecting Limbo to still play the Gyrocopter, not the Spirit Breaker, but there is a small chance, and I'm hoping for the best. Who knows, maybe I got lucky.
10 seconds remaining.
Bounty Hunter last ban for Duza. I mean, offlaner apparently still needed for Sex, and I mean, it is not really particularly apparent that they are still needing an offlaner because Bat Rider could technically do that job as well, but they're expecting Bat Rider to be on the in the jungle perhaps, and it's a Juggernaut that they go for last. And interestingly enough, they have got a bit of a different lineup than last time, as in different roles playing. Let's take a look at this. Of course, once again, for people that skipped the draft, you are watching StarLadder. This is a relegation match. So we've got 2 teams tonight that are from Pro Series and 2 teams that are from Star Series. And these 4 teams in 2 best of 3s, 2 of them, one from Star Series, one from Pro Series, will fight for a spot in Star Series. This is our first best of 3, this is our second game of the best of 3. We've got 1 game in favor of Sex, and Duza of course looking to force out a 3rd game. Duza, the one that came from Star Series. And we're gonna see Unstable playing the Nyx Assassin. Limbo will take on the Spirit Breaker. We've got Legion on the puck. Then we'll leave Capron to play the Gyrocopter. This is then a support Gyrocopter. This is a carry Limbo Spirit Breaker, and we've seen this before. And they were able to get an upset with that against a team. I can't remember which team anymore, but it was a very entertaining match. I remember that much because I wanted to see it again. So this means that we are having Capron, the one that normally plays the Visage, normally plays the Enchantress, or at least the number 4 support that has got of every player around. I believe that Capron is the one with the highest kill number on, for example, Visage. So that's a pretty neat thing to have, and Capron therefore a fairly aggressive number 4 player, so I'm kind of curious to see how much he can turn this support Gyrocopter into perhaps a bit of a semi-carry if this game goes late enough for him, though with the Spirit Breaker you don't want it to make it that late, so we'll see what he ends up going for. Let's see, to introduce everybody, we already said Legion on the puck, Unstable, and there's Nyx. Clockwork, MIB the best. He's playing the offlane, of course, no surprise here. And it looks like we're going to have an aggressive Trilane on our hands. Aggressive Trilane that they are going to play up against Sex in the Radiant side, on the Radiant side. We're going to see Bouquet, or Book, playing the Bane. We're going to see Useless Piece of Shit, or UPS, playing the Juggernaut. And there'll be a dual lane here on this bottom lane. Of course, Chen will be in that jungle. Chen is going to be played by No Fear, the one who played the offlane in the previous game. And the one that played the anti-mage in the previous game will play the Shadow Fiend this time, sitting on mid up against Legion. And then the last but not least, it is Gopaka. The one that played mid in the previous game will now play the offlane on the Batrider. And he'll get some help from the Chen, because the Chen has decided to rotate out of his own forest. I mean, there was a camp blocked and he didn't really have any other sentries. I mean, apparently he had one sentry, but not enough. Only not placed properly. And the, well, he's gonna be maybe taking a kill here. MIB is taking 7 stacks of sticky napalm. A Centaur Stomp comes out. That's your first blood right there. 7 stacks of sticky napalm. Of course, Batrider took a bit of a beating for that. In the meantime, on the bottom lane, some action going on as well by the looks of it, but it's all cooled down again. Spirit Break actually getting a feeble up on him when Bane came around to make sure that that's going to be on there constantly, which is very annoying, obviously. But Spirit Breaker is a hero that has a pretty high base damage. So as you can see, he's still left with 40, which is definitely not a lot, especially not if you compare it to 70. But it's enough to last hit with. Apparently not. Okay, point taken. Let's take a look at how Shadow Fiend is doing right here. Of course, Hart was the one to do best on all the last hitters in the previous game. He did not miss more than maybe about 5 last hits in total up until the 10-minute mark, which is pretty impressive. Even though, of course, he was safe farming, but they did push down the tower fairly early on. But right now, he's sitting on 9 for 3, Legion sitting on 9 for 2, so it's an even lane thus far. Of course, from this point onward, it's all going to be easier for the Shadow Fiend, because the more souls he gets, the easier last hitting gets for him. And that's something that doesn't go for the puck. The more last hits he gets, the more gold he gets, but not how much easier it will get with last hitting for him. So we'll see how we deal with that. As I'm kind of waiting for the moment where bottom lane thinks they're ready to go up on UPS, or if they're ready to go up on anybody at all, as we do have someone else that might be ready for something. No Fear, just gonna be waiting for the creep spawn. Perhaps he wants to try and make a go at this guy though, which is pretty tough because you can't really go on a puck. He has phase shift, he has an orb. Oh, he's still gonna go for it. Still gonna go for it. But Legion walks all the way back. In the meantime, we have got Unstable not noticing any of this, and he's just making his way top. And Chen making his way top as well. He's still getting followed by his Ursa. Slightly behind. You have to keep track of that, especially if there's going to be an engagement. There's no wards here around the corner, so Unstable is first going to scout out the Chen creep. The Chen creep scout out Unstable as well. And comes a collapse, just some harassment. He will lose his Ursa for this though, but he'll take him a new creep, the Dark Troll. And make sure that MIB did not get the last hit in that creep. Batrider, he's having free reign here on this top lane. He's actually doing best of everybody in terms of last hits. He's sitting on 24 to 4. He is even higher than the Shadow Fiend mid, who's sitting on 22 to 11. Who is, by the way, now starting to outlast hit puck by a heavy amount. When we last checked, it was 9 to 2 for both of them. As we have got a charged up, Bane tries to get himself away. He's got a haste rune. It's pretty tough to chase down someone with a haste rune. I was gonna say that's pretty ballsy if you want to continue moving there, but they don't. But yeah, Legion only sitting on 11 last hits right now, so he's only got 2 since we last checked, and Hart sitting on 25, so we got 14 more. In the meantime, Limbo with no charge left, getting actually chased himself, but they won't be able to get a kill here. Not with boots on Limbo. Even though he didn't spec anything in his aura just yet. Chen continuously harassing top. We have Unstable finally making it to level 2. And of course that's a good reason to rotate your supports around, to get them some extra levels, because that's not something that you get in your aggressive trial lane, especially not if you're not getting kills. Oh, in comes a charge. They want to go for Bouquet. And that is a brain stab keeping him up, and it's actually enough. In the meantime, the Blade Fury doing a lot of damage to both Limbo and Capron. But it's not enough to take them down with. It is enough to force more regen out of them though. And we already have Limbo out of regen right now. Looking for some bashes, can't find them. Needs to have that first shot bash if he wants to make a go at this.
My blade is swifter.
In the meantime, there's a level 6 on the Bear Rider, so he has got his lasso. And he'll try to look for a pickup with it. 1100 gold, going for a fast blink probably. And of course when he has that, maybe the kills will start rolling in. Now one thing that you expect when you see a Spirit Breaker in a game is aggression. Because you've got this crazy space cow who can charge up until anything and then just take them out. But because Limbo is getting okay farm here, I mean he's not getting complete free farm, nothing whatsoever, but because he's getting okay farm, he's actually not needed to rotate. And if he rotates now, if he tries to charge someone now and they don't get a kill with it, then the rotation is not going to be worth it. Talking about rotations, they are able to pick up the Shadow Fiend, Legion taking a lot of damage with that, but has got a self, so we'll be okay in the end. Clockwork coming out to help him. MIB being or abandoning top lane, where Unstable takes some of the experience that's coming in. A pretty neat gank. They don't completely shut him down, but at least it's a start. I mean, that's the thing that you have to be doing if you're up against Shadow Fiend. You have to keep him down, if possible. In the meantime, stun up for Unstable. Spike Carapace is popped though. No Fear is not gonna try and pursue that. They just want to get the Bat Rider or his Blink Dagger. That's all they come here for. That's all they want. And Duza has to be ready when that time comes as well. What do you do for trying to get ready for Bat Rider with Blink? You get yourself some more wards. You get yourself some more map control so that you can see where he is, so that you know what he does. So far they only have this one ward up. That's the only ward that Duza has up. But then again, Sex doesn't have any wards up whatsoever. Once again, not protected from ganks. Then again, who is gonna gank right now? Not Spirit Breaker, that's for sure. Because if he ganks top, he's gonna get a lasso. If he ganks middle, there's gonna be a Requiem of Souls waiting for him. Perhaps? No, not yet. Perhaps they could gank mid. It's kinda obvious though. If you're farming bot all the time, and you're a Limbo, you're farming bottom all the time, if you start charging away, everybody will know that you're not there. So, since you're a Spirit Breaker, everybody will know what you would be doing. In comes a hook shot up on the top lane, wanna go for the bat. One more hit, then they'll get it. That's the one. MIB gets it done. Unstable has gotten whoa, has gotten impaled, might be forced to use it. Ing still comes to Satire in 3 seconds to have another shot. I think it's gonna be enough. One more shot. It's not enough. It's not enough. And that's gonna be a Satire dead. One more hit. There we go. Unstable lives. Bear Rider dies. Bear Rider did just get his Blink Dagger before he died though. So they weren't able to delay that one. And perhaps now that Bear Rider is dead, and he has got, yeah, someone bought him a smoke, and he takes it and goes mid. And he should be able to pick up a kill with that, though Limbo is already sitting around the corner. Dream Coil, in comes a Blink Lasso. The Dream Coil will keep maybe Heart at bay. No, it doesn't at all. Limbo decides to not do anything. And he's actually charging bottom. Wants to make sure that he gets some extra farm there. I don't blame him. Well, that was a pretty fast pickup. Legion. Not realizing that Bear Rider would be there with that Blink. But now Blink is shown, so everybody will be a bit more careful. In the meantime, we have to take a look at what the supports are doing, because of course we've got a lot of supports here that have important ultis. One is Bane, sitting at level 4 on the bottom lane still. He's got boots though. Ooh, Omni Slash! He's able to pick up Capron with Bane with the Fiend Script, now level 5. Of course, Capron is a support in this as well. He is already level 5. And getting shut down slightly now that he died, of course. But, oh, in comes a charge. Orb comes in as well. They want to go for UPS to take him down. Silence helping out, knowing that the Omni Slash is on cooldown. And no Blade Fury for him. Another support to look at is of course the Nyx Assassin, also one that wants to get his level 6, and he's actually sitting mid to try and get that. He's gonna get some help soon, Clockwork. He's waiting for the best hook shot of his life. We also have got ourselves Legion around there, sitting on 800 gold. But it's actually MIB that backs off. And of course, one more support. Marie is already level 6. It is no fear on this Chen. He's apparently burning through his creeps. I'm still kind of curious what Capron can do here with his support Gyrocopter. I mean, he is a support, and I guess his ulti is pretty decent. His ulti is actually very decent, of course, AoE slow as well. But normally when we saw, because we haven't seen it in a while, when we saw support Gyrocopters, it has been done before, is mostly for the Rocket Barrage and mostly for early game aggressions. Now, it works out great if you have got a Clockwork there as well, because you can just cock someone in, Capron stands next to the cogs, and the Rocket Barrage will hit the target in the cogs. Same thing goes for an Impale. I mean, it works well together with the Impale, with the bashes from the Spear Break, it's all great and stuff, but normally it works best with early game aggression and getting something in return for you know, the possibility for you to be early. The thing with a carry Gyrocopter is normally that he is strong on lane, then when the laning phase kind of ends, he normally wants the laning phase to last as long as possible. But when the laning phase ends, he wants to have... Oh, Fiend's Grip, Limbo. I think you might be dead. No TP coming in to save your ass right here. Ooh, but he charges away when the Fiend's Grip ends and he'll get himself out. In the meantime, No Fear cannot charge. He dies. Still tries to do what he can with the Centaur, but can't get anything done either. So in the end, it's 1-4-0. Maybe steal something else. Oh, in comes a Dream Coil. Impale already up on the Juggernaut. Juggernaut forced to get himself out of there. Still getting harassed. Needs a couple more hits before it goes down. One more actually. Omni Slash is still though. But he goes down. It's only level 1 Omni Slash. Bad Rider able to fly himself out to safety. And there's 2 go down for Sex with only 1 dead on the side of Duza. $1,200 gold sitting up on the Shadow Fiend. And in terms of net worth, he's still on top of the charts. Wants to go for his fast BKB. Well, BKBs are all nice and stuff, but they won't stop you from getting bashed by this guy. And with this guy, of course, I mean the Spear Breaker. Also, for people wanting to watch this game inside the Dota client, you can watch it in the Dota client. Unfortunately, it's not listed under the StarLadder TV ticket. But you can watch it by searching a team, one of these 2 teams, either Sex or Duza. I believe Duza is able to be found in the team list directory. And then right click on one of the players. And just get it that way. In comes a Blink, last 2, want to go for Limbo. This time can he charge himself out in time? Hand of God comes out, Limbo cannot charge in time and will drop. He actually tried to charge, got ensnared straight away by the troll. Actually, no. It was not the troll. It was not the troll. He just didn't make it out alive. By the way, this entire game, we've been on for 14 minutes right now. But there's no towers that are down. None at all. Which is quite impressive. Though, of course, neither of the teams has got this high pushing lineup. Not even with the Chen, even though they are trying to push down the tower right now. And they'll go for it now. They don't even have the healing or spec by the Juggernaut, which is something that you normally want to have. Ooh, in comes a charge. Want to go for the Bane. Nether Strike comes out as well. Bane will get sent back home though. Brain stabs before he does get sent back. And Limbo himself might actually die. Nice Impale coming off from the side. In comes the hookshot as well. Down goes the Juggernaut. Now No Fear looking for a way out. Will use his creeps to try and block his exit. But the hookshot comes in still. And MIB is dominating. Gets himself another kill. And perhaps they can take down the Chen creeps as well. Oh, nice deny. One creep denying the other. True companionship. It's like a cat denying a dog. Capron getting caught out. We'll go down. Not enough vision on the map for Duza, I'd say. Especially enough if you know that the Black Rider has a blink dagger and is working towards his force. This is the only ward that they have and it's almost disappearing. And they now lose their second tower. Because of course, I mean, Duza, they just won that fight in the bottom lane. But they did also lose their tower. And that's gonna hurt. Because that's mostly gonna hurt in the gold. We already have got 6 ahead. And they're now even going further ahead. It's getting kind of out of control for Duza. They have to fight aggression with aggression. They don't really have... Like, if you look at this game and you think about what this game will be like at 55 minutes in or so, you don't really think that it's gonna be going the way of Duza guaranteed, because there's a Hand of God, Shadow Fiend with Requiem of Souls, Juggernaut there, and a Bear Rider, which is a very strong ultimate lineup. They've got 2 disables that go through BKB. In the meantime, maybe UPS will find himself dead. In comes a cooldown, still slowing down UPS. Blade Fury almost ending. Is Capron gonna have a Rocket Barrage ready by the time that happens? Yes, he does. He goes for it. He gets a kill. Nicely done. In the meantime, Hand of God comes out still, but it's too late. In comes a charge. He wants to go for the Bear Rider. But Bear Rider, he's got... Oh, nice Impale coming out from Unstable. Interrupting the Fiend script on MIB as well. Book, in some trouble, will not get sent home this time. Will go down. In comes a charge. MIB will still drop, but it doesn't matter. Bear Rider dies with him. Unstable runs for it. Runs for his life right now. Legion getting ensnared. He is the one that gets stuck. In comes Heart. Boom. Face shift, his hit, but it doesn't matter. Impale comes out too late. Limbo cannot really hope to do anything. Doesn't have that attack speed and has to run for his life. And he is actually not building attack speed either. Oh, in comes a charge. They want to go for no fear. Capron coming in as well. Having that Rocket Barrage getting shared up by the Centaurs. Down goes the Spirit Breaker. And that makes a triple kill for Hart, who now gets an ultra kill because he can. He didn't even use his Requiem of Souls for that. Perhaps he can even get a Rampage if he gets Capron as well. Capron, who does have 12 stick charges, but doesn't have a way out of here. Doesn't have a TP scroll. The only way he can have is by just being safe, and I don't think he will be if he's gonna come out further. Oh, Bookers really want to have him. Brain Sap comes out. Nice cogs. MIB just making a run for it. This will be the last outer tower of Duza to go down, because there's no way they can defend this. In comes out the charge. They still want to try and defend this. Hookshot comes in as well. Sun's up on 3. Blade Fury is still there as well as the Flame Break. It's gonna kill off the Bane first. Can they take another one? They really want to have the Shadow Fiend. One more hit. They get him in the end. That's an awesome kill right there, as that Ursa right there was able to kill off UPS. Juggernaut able to dodge that. No fear. We'll send the Bear Rider home. We'll be good. Still 3 dead in the end. Duza, they get 4 dead on their side. Lose a tower, and then they come back and kill 3. And even though that's nice and all, every time that Duza killed someone, they are not getting anything back for it, which is kind of disappointing for Duza, to be honest, because they cannot afford to lose that much more ground. They don't have that late game superior lineup. They have to get their spoils now. They have to get their towers now, their gold now. They're 7,500 gold behind. 4,000 experience behind, and we see MIB still struggling here. We'll get Fiend Script and Lassoed, and will in the end still get picked off with a couple more hits. And actually, yeah, Flame Break will do it. I was gonna say that would be quite insane if he was able to get away from Gopaka and Book. Hello, charge. Might be forced to at least pop a BKB for this. Nether Strike still comes out, and of course bashes, like said, goes through BKB. Tries to cast his Requiem of Souls. Hand of God comes out as well. Looking for rages, finds Legion. That's 1 kill. Can he actually take down another one? In comes Gopaka. That's a double kill. That's gonna be 2 heroes, 2 of the core heroes of Duza, looking to pick off a Shadow Fiend. Not able to do it, and they lose so much with that. Look at this Shadow Fiend. He has got more than double the amount of net worth compared to the highest up on Duza. Down goes Capron here on the bottom lane. Vendetta is not going to be able to do anything against this. Home missile hits up on Bane, doesn't really matter. And finally, of course, the healing ward spec'd by the Juggernaut, which is great. Allows them to continue to pressure the lanes of Duza. As Clockwork, once again, gets picked off. Ownage being called, Duza. They don't look as strong as when we last saw them play.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Duza might get 2-0'd here, and we might have to see
Dire's structures
Sex in Star Series Season 8. Which is gonna be awkward. I hope to find a sponsor. In comes some TPs though to try to take it back here. Brain, Sep. No, Bane can't do it anymore. Goes down before he can. No fear. Will get dropped as well. Nether Strike will pick him off. And that's everybody out safe. UPS even gets himself a DD rune, so if he still has a fight, he's gonna be having some means to do so.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Maybe they'll finally get a tower though, but Bear Rider comes in, already blinks himself away, gets impaled on the sidelines, gets charged as well. He doesn't have a lasso, does have a force staff, still gets bashed, and will get picked off here with a couple more last hits. There we go, Legion gets it done. Bear Rider with Boots of Travel, force staff, and Blink Dagger. He is sitting on a higher net worth than the Puck, which is the highest on Duza, which is kind of troublesome because Puck doesn't really have that much. And that just means that both the Spirit Breaker and Clock have even less. And at this point, if you're Duza, I would suggest for them to try and find a way to get that Gyrocopter into a semi-carry. Because without it, I don't think they can do it. In comes a Vendetta, looking for UPS. The charge comes in as well. There's going to be also a Bane around here, though, if it's needed. Unstable. Gets Nightmare before he can do anything. Cooldown will miss. In comes a hookshot, though. MIB catches Book. Book will get himself impaled and killed off with a Nether Strike as well. In comes an Omni Slash, getting split out a bit. Unstable. Still able to live through this though, but barely. Blink Lasso catches himself Limbo, the one that they want, the one that they get as well. Looking for more, finding himself a double kill. That's gonna be Nyx Assassin dead. Capron goes down as well, but Shadow Fiend will take that one. It's 3-for-1, and they still have not taken the tier 1 tower. And this is looking bad for Duza. It's looking up for Sex though. Looking good for them. Good to make it to StarLadder, of course. Good to make it to Star Series, rather.
Dire's bottom tower has been denied.
The first tower that Duza get. Oh, was it actually denied for Duza? Yeah, well, that's great for them. They need that kind of thing. Even though they're already behind, and denying a tower is not gonna stop that. Denying anything, every little thing that you can think of to your enemy team is gonna be worth it. Shadow Fiend will take the Aegis. Free Aegis for him, as he's also got a Mata style, 1800 gold to boot, and he is actually not planning on backing off. They've got that ward, that Blink. Unstable, you're dead. You're so dead. Not even funny. Gold graph keeps being up. Limbo. There's no lasso. That's going to be a savior. Capron, at least fairly tanky with those treads. Really helping out. In comes a hook shot. Catches out Gopaka, but he can fly himself over. He's actually getting sent back to home to Chen also by Chen. Nightmare comes in to stop that from happening though, and in the meantime, Gyro goes down because Hart turned on his BKB. Now goes for Limbo, who got Fiend Script. Double kill for him. And now looks for creeps. Legion cannot do anything anymore to save this mid lane tier 2 from going down. And they'll end up having to give this one up. Perhaps you can try to take a deny, but it's gonna be so risky. They can't afford to fight, because if they lose a fight right now, they'll lose so much more than just a fight in the tier 2. They'll lose perhaps tier 3 and more. But it's tier 2 top that Sex wants to try and go for right now.
Illusion.
Here comes an Impale, up on 2. Flare, hook shot, can I take him down? Hand of God will at least keep Bad Rider up. It's not enough to take care of them both though. And they'll both end up going down, looking for another one. The hookshot on cooldown, everything on cooldown. And that's gonna be a buyback. Bear Rider, he's got boosted travel. He'll be back here shortly. Already TP'd back to the mid lane. There's a creep wave. Still got his lasso. Looking to make use of it. Blinks forward. Finds himself unstable. And that's gonna be one Nyx assassin down once more. It's 2 for 1 in the end. A good trade for Duza, but in the end, they'll still lose their tier 2 tower. They'll still lose their ground. They're still losing control of this game, giving more and more control to Sex. We really hope would change their names if they make it to Star Series, which by the looks of it is gonna happen. And they're looking strong, especially Hart. I'm impressed by his anti-mage performance in his previous game, but his Shadow Fiend performance definitely not bad either. He's 13 to 2 to 3. And they're 17k gold ahead compared to Duza, 15k experience. And Duza this time, they do not want to call an early GG. This is their chance for Star Series. Their chance to go big or go home. No Fear will get dropped here. They still want to fight this. The cooldown will only hit on No Fear though. The rest will be able to make it out. Or will they? In comes an Omni Slash. It is actually Duza that's in some trouble right now. The Feast Grip comes out upon Limbo. Impale comes out for the bet, stopping him from chasing anything. But Limbo still dies. There's still Nages up on that Shadow Fiend as well. It will get burned at least. Nightmare up on Unstable. Bane, Brain Sap, and Feeble. Just keeping his Shadow Fiend safe, and it will be enough. They haven't backed off though. It's a Chen for the farming Spirit Breaker. It's a good trade. They can send some Manta style illusions up the hill if they want to. No, they're backing off for now. Yeah, hello Deadless. Bought out completely for that. Well, I wouldn't blame him. It's looking pretty solid on the not dying part at least, unless Duza combine forces. And if they do that, then they would have given up so much to just kill off one single hero that the rest of the team of Sex should be able to finish them off. No Fear, might be in some trouble. He still has got the mech, he's got the Hand of God, he's got a Stomp as well as a hookshot to come in. MIB only caught the Centaur though. In comes the Hand of God, down goes the Nyx, and MIB might have just walked himself into death as well. Double kill. Hookshotted himself to death rather. Double kill for Hart. This Shadow Fiend being a pretty fat one, if you ask me. Dagon for the puck. Now normally when you buy Dagon you're already ahead. That's why the win rate with Dagons in professional games is normally fairly high, because teams only buy it when they're already ahead, and then it's a brilliant item to continue to nuke down your enemies because they can't get their survivable items up, and you would force them to buy more survivable items and they still won't be able to have the damage to take you down instead. And you know, that's why Dagon is great. But in this game, they're already behind. And who is going to be the most squishy target here to Dagon? It's only the Bane and the Chen. And those are not the high prio target. Bane can heal himself up again with the Brain Sap. Chen has got a Mechanism and a Hand of God. On top of that, he's got a point booster, so he's not going to die from that just yet.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And it looks like we're gonna see a bit of a pause, at least in the aggression of Sex. I was kind of expecting them to try and make something happen here, considering they are ahead. They don't have an Aegis anymore though. And perhaps that's the reason why they're waiting. Perhaps they want to have another Aegis before going again. And we'll make, will mean that we're gonna have to wait for 4 minutes. Perhaps they want to have a pick off beforehand, which is gonna be tough because Duza is being really careful here. I was gonna say that, and then Unstable was standing there for a while, but they are careful. Look at them, hiding in their base. Not willing to take chances. Perhaps Limbo, though, who's the only one outside of his base right now, might be a good target. They're already pushing on top lane. Unstable. He has to be careful. Luckily for him, there's no gem. Oh, in comes a charge. Wants to go for the Bear Rider. Impale comes out. They take down the Bear Rider before anything else. No Fear will get dropped as well. And the rest of Sex is too late to do anything against it. Bear Rider was about to blink in and drag someone out when he got charged. He got impaled and killed. Now we see the rest of Sex backing themselves out of the war zone. Aghanims, of course, picked up by Juggernaut, which I find interesting. Because normally when you're a Juggernaut, and I mean Aghanims are definitely not uncommon, don't get me wrong. But you want to normally have something like Phase Boots, or at least some kind of damage item if you don't have Phase Boot before you're going for your... Well, Shadow Fiend. Alive for now, in comes the ultimate from the Juggernaut, and he's jumping around like crazy. Spirit Breaker's already dead, Unstable trying to get himself out, Heart already got a double kill, looking for a third, and I mean, it might just be that one, and that is indeed the case. Triple kill for him, 4 people dead, the only one that lives is Capron on his gyrocopter, and he wasn't even there. He's still building towards his BKB, realizing that they need a semi-carry here. Cooldown comes out, but it's not going to be doing anything anymore. It's not even stalling them, it's not even stalling. It's just annoyance at this point. It's a level 2 cooldown, which is definitely not nothing, but it's too little too late. The Sex is pounding on the base of Duza at the moment. We've got a BKB almost up for the Bear Rider. Question is, will he be able to finish it? He already has the Mithril Hammer if he wants it. Perhaps he wants to go for a Sanjin Yasha just to get extra fast. Drag his target even further away if possible.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Playing Lasso, Unstable. You're it. Tagged. In comes a charge. Limbo. It's too late now though. In comes a Dream Coil, but again, there's not enough damage. And Duza just go in one by one and die. They still take care of the gen. No Fear going down. But that's it. That's it. Duza taps out. They call the GG. And they will see a rampage on their last match in StarLadder Star Series before getting dropped to Pro Series. And of course we welcome Sex to play in Star Series in Season 8. We're gonna have another best of 3 though. Another best of 3 to decide for a spot in Star Series. It will be Team Life up against Aspera. Official starting time for this match is 8 PM, which is gonna be in about 40 minutes, so we might have a bit of a break until then, but we should be having another game anyways. Of course, thank you for watching. You are watching indeed the relegation matches, so this is a team from Pro Series and a team from Star Series. Star Series fairly low, Pro Series fairly high, and those two teams will face each other to play for that one spot in Star Series, while the other one gets dropped down to Pro Series for the next season of StarLadder, as of course Season 7 group stages just ended. Of course, yeah, stick around. Oh, don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and same thing goes for Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, all under the same name of Shiver Gaming, but most of all, follow on Twitch and on Twitter, it's appreciated. Thank you, and we'll be right back.